I just wanted to ask, now that the results are announced, how are you feeling? I think you were hoping to be elected, perhaps, but Ausgwen was one who was elected as TG. How are you feeling? How do you feel generally about the newly elected top 7? Thank you.
Another question?
Inayat Wari from Salam Media. A key focus of this conference was organizational renewal, and was the top 7 in place in terms of
How is the renewal?
how is that likely to play out in terms of going forward as far as organizational renewal of the African National Congress goes?
Okay.
From this side, Moloto from ANC, I just want to know what went wrong in your assessment with your campaign for TG, especially given the fact that it was in the 11th hour, that perhaps you took too long before you could combine forces with Masina. And that is the reason why you could not emerge. But I also would like to ask, it's just to seek clarity, those who contested for the officials' position and did not make it, you did say that automatically they are eligible to be elected as NEC member. Was the former president Jacob Zuma in there? I didn't see him personally. Do you know if he was in the plenary now when the results were announced? Thank you.
Pule, this is Christian from Netwerk 24 speaking. I would just like to know, how does it work now? Do you continue to be spokesperson for ANC, and do you intend to be spokesperson for...
Pule, sure. Slindalo Masiganda from ENCA. I know yesterday the media had requested to have a briefing with the outgoing top 6. Can we expect one with the one that's been,
With the
newly elected top 7? Thank you.
Okay, no, thanks. Just maybe to start off with your question, Comrade Paul Mashati. So, and suggested that we do what we've been doing. Those of you who have covered our provincial conferences, you will know that halfway, especially after election of officials, by now I would be coming to the press room with them. So I raised that. The president then suggested that perhaps it would be prudent to do that engagement at the conclusion of the national. We also have got to say what are the key resolutions taken by this national conference. I have never taken the question of standing for positions of responsibility in the ANC personally. I don't invest emotions in campaigns. The leadership of the ANC will come and go. It doesn't mean that very often when we see results of elections and those that voted for us, we don't see their names, we see the numbers. It doesn't mean that with those numbers, if they did not vote for Masina, they would have voted for me. No. Because numbers don't have names of people next to them. They are just that, they are numbers. And say, no, here, no, Doesn't work like that. Comrade Masina had the courage himself to come and stand in front of the media and said, remember, he did not withdraw, he demobilized. So demobilizing and withdrawing are not the same. He demobilized and because his name was still on the ballot paper. So it meant that someone that might, but it's all said and done now. We've got the leadership of the ANC. We have to rally behind this leadership. My campaign for Treasurer General ended when the name of Comrade Gwen Rabohupa was announced. I did not come to this national conference carrying a faction behind me. I came here with members of the ANC in good standing, full life of organization, make the ANC even much stronger. That's what we are going to have to do. I've worked with different leaders in the ANC. For the past 5 years, I worked with President Cyril Ramaphosa. accompanied him to almost every press interaction that he had, especially wearing the cap of the ANC. When he was asked by the leadership to step aside, I still continued with my role as national spokesperson. I'm going to support every one of those officials in the same way that I did. I supported President Ramaphosa, I supported Comrade Didi, I supported Comrade Ace, I supported Comrade Jesse, I supported Comrade Paul, I supported Comrade Gwen, Comrade Gwede. Going to ANC has prevailed. It is our duty to embrace it. Well, let me say this on record. I've done my work as national spokesperson of the ANC. It is important that the ANC now brings a new pair of hands to do this work. I will continue being a volunteer of the African National Congress. If I make it to the NEC and they still assign me responsibility in the communications one of the things that motivated me to stand, Comrade Muluku, was because this position was no longer going to be full-time. So I at least started to imagine myself being part of the corporate world. I've given my time to the ANC, but I now want to go and see what the streets have in store for me. So, if I want to maintain my sanity, I will have to make sure that I give you guys new energy. I will allow the organization to decide on what they want to do, but I've enjoyed this ride with all of you. I know sometimes I offended some of you, but I made friends with many of you. I actually don't shout when I speak because some of you accused me of shouting. I don't shout when I speak. This is my voice, you know. Yes, I'm like so that when you meet me in the streets of Johannesburg, you don't say, no, here is that shouter from the ANC. I don't shout. So how am I feeling? I'm fine. I said to my wife, I said to my kids, one thing that will make me happy is just knowing that this race is concluded. So they talked to me in the morning because I did not get the league. And I mean, by the way, when you stand, you must be positive. Mustn't stand and look doubtful. No, it's like when you go for a job interview. You must arrive there and they must already see that this one is employable. You arrive at a job interview and they doubt if we can hire this one. So you can see, I mean, you saw me, I was already working like a treasurer general. Been in my hands, you can see that this man is carrying a checkbook or something. No. You know, we encouraged a lot of delegates here that it is possible. You know, we are humbled by the fact that members of the ANC at the 55th National Conference, they put a 42-year-old as Treasurer General and gave him the kind of votes that they gave me. I lead with in the National Executive Committee, the great and wonderful team that I had at DIP. I was joking with them at the last week saying, Amos, you guys must know I might be going to the 8th floor because the treasury of the ANC is at the 8th floor and the communications is at the 9th floor. So I would effectively have occupied all the floors, 7 in the Youth League, 8 in the ANC, 9 in communications. Kim Jojo Jojo, Libile Wanagis, I told us all, Kim Jojo Hoot. Kaur Eliadi salary Nerdo with Shadnams. I get suppose those other questions are not going to be coming to me. They will be coming to the communications team. The new Treasurer General will do the work. I must also say that one of the things, and I'm sure that there's limit, but yesterday when the question was asked, why can't we pick up the hands today? 3 women in the officials. I mean, that is progress. It's 4. 1, 4. We've got Comrade Nomvola.
Yeah, thank you so much. Do you believe that your perspectives will emerge in the NEC election? Okay, that was Bintolo. That's Bintolo. He's the secretary of the KwaZulu-Natal ANC. Does he characterize this as a defeat for the KwaZulu-Natal perspective in the ANC? Yes, Mr. Vincent Magunya. He's got the tag saying, what do you make of that outcome?
No, it's a good outcome, not only for the governing party, but a good outcome for South Africa. It's a good outcome for the country. In that the president
Just tag me then, eh?
giving a renewed
Tag me on the.
to continue with the reforms that
retweet
he
it. Awesome.
initiated at the onset of his term. And those are the reforms that he reported on in his political report. Now, those institutional and economic reforms are going to be given further impetus, more importantly, for the fight against corruption.
The president returns to office after what appears to be a divisive start to the conference. Do you think there will be any impact of the ANC division on the new agenda and him as head of state?
Kevin, let's just clarify, he never left office in government, so he remains in office in government. Obviously, he returns to the leadership of the governing party based on the results that he's been able to deliver and the achievements of his first term as the leader of the governing party.
Now that the ANC presidency is in the bag, what's next?
Well, what's next is for the president to continue his work, focusing on resolving the energy challenge, focusing on pressing ahead with the fight against corruption, focusing on